All right, guys. Today we're going to do a Punisher book. It's the summer special, volume 2, I guess, or issue number 2. I'm not sure if there's a continuation. I believe these are just one shots, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it's fun. This is a cover by the great Simon Bisley. Look at these guns, man. Looks like cannons. And the shirts, yeah, awesome. Awesome. No ads, by the way, 48 pages. We don't gonna do 48 pages because there's multiple stories and not all of them are worth talking about, in my opinion. But the main story is what we are gonna talk about. So you can see who is all involved. Pat Mills, Chuck Dixon, Jimmy Palmiotti with the covers, Simon Bisley, Mike McKone. Yeah, a lot of, great creators. Pretty cool. So what is this all about? Well, this is an outbreak. And this guy is attacking the prison guard. And it's the legendary Colonel de Sade. Now, it seems that this is an old foe or, criminal that Punisher tangled with. And he's has some whips. So the guard is, tried to pull his gun. But then he's dead because he's using atami whips, attacking sensitive nerve points. And and that's the beginning of this story. So he's being escaping and he has some goons. And the story is called Rough Cut. Well, Punisher knows that the Sade is escape. And I don't know what he's really doing here. But this is a center for urban survival. And I think, wait a minute, is this real? Was this real that people are just here going there in the street clothes and then getting fighting lessons to survive on the street, because that's exactly what's Frank doing here. And so he wants to find him and punish him, right? But it's not really clear why he is here. So, but then he's thinking, I should have had to kill the colonel when I had a chance. Should have smashed his face in, cracked his spine. Last time when we met was during a bank heist. He reveled in sadism, enjoyed inflicting pain. I ended up playing his own sick game, turning a barbed wire projectile on him. He seems to like it. Oh, it is beautiful, Punisher, so sadistic. I'll die, but you finally understood. I met you on comfort. But then the cops managed to pull him out, and he says, no, stop it, you fools. Leave me here. This is my moment of glory. Okay. And then he's still beating on his guy. Should have wrung the life out of him. Should have punished. And he also, hey, Frank, chill out, man. He said, I'm sorry, man. I just carried away a little bit. All right, so, yeah, I don't know why he's here. It's totally not unclear. Anyway, so he's going back to his apartment, I guess. And he says, Frank, well, not an apartment. He's going to leave, but somebody left him a video. It's a tape, and it's, hey, Frank, surprised to see me again? I expect you to wondering what I'm up to these days. But it's okay, Frank. I don't rob banks anymore. I'm in the movie business now. So buy yourself some popcorn and watch these clips. Sadness Pictures presents No Sequels for Cindy. Elm Street? I think that's a cool one. So Elm Street, like The Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. Watch those horror movies, man. It's great. So yeah, he's making snuff movies. And he says, now pay close attention to the incredible realism of the next scene, Frank. Have you ever seen better special effects? Her acting was impeccable and I didn't have to pay her. It's really profitable line of work. Now, next we have Don't Cry for Candy. He's just smashing these films in, this television in. Now, all right, so he is saying, I spent the night tearing apart the town. Several busted heads and few choked confessions has led me to this club, where they supposedly pick up their victims. They auditioned the girls as exotic dancers, promising well-paid work touring South America, I'm sorry. So, this is Cheryl, and he says, what do your parents think about your line of work? But sure, your boyfriend. I ditched him last week. I need a new life. And she just checkmark him, and she says, those are the magic words. So yeah, she's in cahoots with the Sade. Anyway, so he rips off these steel door, because it was that, and then people come out to, to ambush. Well, not ambush it, but the Punisher ambushes them, and he shoots with the Uzi. It's just Punisher's fan, yeah, just like the Connor figure. Yeah, did you figure this? Come on the side, where are you? And he's cursing. All right, but then he's being jumped on by this guy, and then he's toast, right? I must say, not everything is perfect. Some of the panels looks a little bit wonky and weird, especially here. And also I'm showing this a little bit later, what's happening. But then, okay. You're supposed to grow out of this kind of things, to change and put violence to one side. Well, it's true, I am changing, he says. As every year goes by, I just get meaner. Yeah, this, like I said, if you want to have the real Punisher, the best Punisher, buy the 90s Punisher or 80s Punisher. That's also good too. Everything after that, it's just all watered down BS. It looks a little bit wonky here and there, right? But this here too, he's kicking him away. It just looks weird. Anyway, so he says, put the gun down, but then he, like I said, looks weird. And he shoots him in the face, right? Mike McKone is a good artist, but I don't know what he's doing anymore. I mean, yeah. Is he still doing stuff? He's doing some detail work, but then, like I said, also the dialogue is also sometimes a little bit wonky. So he grabs the girl, and he says, hey, you are, now show them what's really going down there. Okay, calm down first. I'm not going to do anything while you're shouting at me. Normally, Punisher would punch her in the face and say, you do it, or, grab a gun and put it against her head. But then he says, all right, I stop shouting. Your eyes are rolling. Stop rolling your eyes. They stop rolling, and unclench your fist and stop grinding your teeth. Okay, I'm perfectly calm now, but if you don't show them, I will calmly take you apart. So this is supposed to be a joke. It's not really landing, and there's another joke in here that it's pretty cringe. I mean, this is all, I don't know, this takes too long. Like I said, normally you just grabs a knife or a gun and it just shut the hell up and give me the tapes, right? All right. I mean, this here is also, yes, some kind of a weird dialogue with this woman. He says, what's the story, Allison? Excuse me? You seem to you seem like you have a brain. What are you doing here? I get $400. A girl does that make me stupid? Then it makes you scum. Ha! You know the only difference between you and God? And like me, God doesn't think he's the Punisher. Really? I don't know. Is this supposed to be funny? Anyway, so Punisher shows them the tapes, right? And again, the dialogue goes a little bit weird here. So he says, get the idea. He says, get out of our wave. And then, I don't know if this is an error, but it says, leave her to us. And then the girls jump this woman. But it would be better if one of the girls was replaced by this one and say, hey, leave her to us, and then jump on her. That would make more sense. Or maybe this should be maybe another dialogue like, you're not going anywhere, right? And then the girls jump on her. This doesn't make any sense at all. All right, so Punisher protects her for now, and he says, get out of here. But it was a ruse, because he is doing that because now she is luring the Punisher to the Sade's nest. But I believe this guy knows what Frank is up to, right? So he's going to this fuel storage in this area, and they are setting up some films. And another stupid joke that I don't get. I hope you don't mind. I borrowed your mascara and lipstick, but I don't wear. Oh, get out of here. Really? I mean, where does this come from that it needs to put in here? Like I said, it's not perfect, but the rest of the story is pretty cool. I mean, especially when it comes to action. So, because this is a very highly explosive area, Frank decides to go in with all of these, with knives and cold steel. And I really like it that he explains to me as a reader what all of these weapons and knives can do. For instance, a sharp-edged object is man's oldest tool. In this high-tech age, it's good to get back to an honest primitive weapon. This tanto has a diamond-hard edge, but it won't shatter. It won't even cut through steel. No amount of leather jacket or flesh will stop it. It goes right through the bone every time. So, and then we see others like the silent bullet, the ATC kukri, heavy sharp Creighton non-slip handle, nothing very subtle, just a good old-fashioned limb hacker. And finally, a buck titanium folder. Titanium's light and strong, and the mechanics never break. Very good for close-up work. He smiles. I like that. He's also a little bit sadistic. Anyway, Colonel, we're an extra short, I'm afraid. Oh, not again, dear. You really must curb your... Allison, my dear, I promise you to be a star. You kidding me? You love me. Betrayal. Isn't it thrilling? I love these impromptu scene changes. The stagehand become a star like when the ballerina twists her ankle and polycylinders cinders get the limelight. And then he says, well, you should have been nicer to me, Allison. Right? But then he's got the knife in the gut. Help me, boss. No. Look, just scream and rife. This is making great footage. And I do believe our leading man has arrived. All we see is shadow. Ferry Citizen Kane. I think he has probably the best lines in this book. I love it. For our next scene, the camera will be running on auto. Murder to edit, but I think it will be worth it. Don't you, Frank? I think you should die. You're not fighting exos now, Frank. I'm not as sluggish as my goons. All right. So he's going in and he's using us all this, like dialogue from the film. Cut, you didn't scream, Frank. We're going to have to do the scene again. I like it. And he said, I have enough of this shit. Exit village stage left. Frank, we can talk this over. Can I interest you in some videos? No? Well, before you do anything hasty, why don't you take a look down? There. And so he jumps over. He has this help sign here. So this is the typical damsel in distress, being bound into, tied up to a railroad. Where does this train come from? Anyway, it's an old school locomotive. So he uses the tanto blade, and then he's throwing into this guy's chest. I like this, this underhand, like that. Flows this knife. It looks really cool. Like there's some good things, really good things. There's also some cringe weird things when it comes to panel layouts. But I'll say, so he's still there standing filming. A fine performance, sir. In a homicidal rage, the Punisher charges towards the calmly poised psychopath. What is this? Rocky VI? Can we stick to film noir? Oh, a bit Raging Bull, don't you think? Très macho. He says, what does it take to shut you up? Punisher, before we finish the scene, you need it on set too. Will Frank save the damsel before she drowns in grain? Don't miss the next exciting installment of the Punisher's perils. And then he jumps and it just looks so weird. And he dives head down into this grain. Maybe they don't know how to, lay out this panel correctly. Okay, but then he says, hey, just swim, because that's a thing you can do, apparently. Anyway, so he's grabbing this forklift, I think, right? He says, no more knives. This thing will do. You're the good guy. If you kill me, I'll press the lease, and Allison buys the container. Frank, listen to me. I mean what I say. You know I'll do. And he has this psychopathic face. And then he rams him with this apparatus, with this, I just mentioned it. But, he says, you're worse than I am, Punisher. And he clicks the button and Allison, well, she got what she deserved. She's dead. But he is still alive. Frank, you're not just a sadist. You're a visionary. No, I mean that. One warrior to another. You're not a warrior, Sade. You're a sick animal. A clown, a coward. And in the end, just one more nudge. You just can't leave me, Frank. I at least deserve a good punchline. Made it, Ma. Come on, Frank. You know the drill. So he shoots this, I know, maybe the tank of this forklift. And he says, yes, made it to the top, Ma. Or top of the world. That's the end. An explosive end, if you will. I really like this. This was so over the top. I really like it. The art looks good, by the way. Like I said, it has some wonky bits. We have also another small story, but it is more for funsies. It's pretty short, couple of pages, and then we go into another one. I'm not going through all of this. I don't like the art on the last story. It looks not for me. But great pinup by Max Texeira here. Look at these big arms and veins. And we have another pinup by I don't know who this guy is, but back of Chris Sprouse, Joe Rubinstein, etc., etc. So again, what do I think about it? I think it's great. Not without its problems, but overall for a nice one shot, if you will, or a nice 10 minutes, 15 minutes read, perfect. You know, and there's this cool Simon Bisley cover that I already mentioned. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.